As promised, Irish legend Bryant Young back for another round. BY, and I asked him for permission to call him BY. By the way, you're known to many as Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champ, but I'm guessing maybe your favorite title is Dad.
Yes, that is absolutely my favorite title.
Well, his son Bryce Young is up and coming. He's now a sophomore on this Notre Dame team. Stud is probably a better word to describe him. As a freshman, he played in all 16 games for the Irish, recorded 23 tackles, had a team-high 3 blocked kicks, and that was tied for second best in all of college football. Brag on your boy just a little bit. What are those intangibles that make him such a great player?
Well, I think he works extremely hard. You know, we talked about taking ownership of the process. And, you know, I had the privilege of coaching Bryce in high school for 4 years, and before we ever kind of did anything, I was like, the thing that you ought to see when you put on somebody's tape is them hustling to the ball, like competing to the ball at all costs. I said, if you get that part right, everything else is going to be correctable. So he has that. He loves to compete, and he wants to be great. And so I'm just excited to watch him continue to flourish and develop as a young athlete, young person.
How hands-on are you now during the season? And maybe how tough is it to sit in the stands with you and your wife, you know, to watch that and to give him that advice at that moment?
You know, it's tough. I still give him advice. I don't try to over-exert myself because I played the game and I do see it. But there was a kind of a healthy handoff that I had with him from high school to college. He has really good coaches. I love Al Washington, and he does a phenomenal job just coaching and instructing them. He's a mentor to the young men, and so I trust them. And so for me to overcoach or tell him something different than what he's already been teach, I just want to be a reinforcer of what they're teaching him kind of on the back end and support them in the best way I possibly can. And so for me, it's allow his coaches to be his coaches and be a dad. But I still interject when he wants it, and I have to make sure that I get permission.
Well, Talia, do you want to transition it over to this year's team?
Of course. So looking at this year's defense after the Miami loss, how do you like the matchup for the Irish defense tonight against the Aggies offense?
You know, I think last game we played, it was probably not up to everybody's expectation, and it's the teams specifically, because they have a certain expectation as well as we do, but that doesn't matter in terms of what we expect. It didn't go well. They have to, you know, as Marcus said in his post-game speech, he's talking about everybody needs to take a look at themselves in the mirror, coaches, players, GMs, and I think they've done that. I think they've addressed, you know, the things that needed to be corrected. And my thought going into this game, they're well prepared. It's a great opponent in Texas A&M. They're going to play you tough, and the best is needed from Notre Dame to win this game tonight.
We're going to do X Factors and final predictions quickly. We've got 2 minutes. Who is your X Factor tonight?
My X Factor is the quarterback. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think CJ. I love CJ Carr. Good first start. I think it's something to build on. And I just think his confidence grows tonight.
Awesome. Talia?
I got to go with Malachi Fields. I know he had that fumble for loss against Miami, but I think he was just shaking off some nerves because he did finish second in receiving. So expect big from him tonight.
For me, I picked Jeremiah Love because I think that's a big conversation piece. We want to get this run game established. But you know what? Really, the offensive line needs to be that X factor tonight because it all revolves around them. Without that offensive line, especially the tackles, you want to see improvement from Knapp and from Wagner, and I want to see them protect, open up those run lanes, give C.J. Carr some momentum and some time to make those big plays.
Adon Shuler got 1 interception last year against Texas A&M. He gets 2 today against the Aggies.
Oh, let's go.
Defense.
Wow.
I like the defensive backs of this game. Let's move to final score predictions. Your final score tonight?
Notre Dame by 1 touchdown.
Close game.
It don't matter the score, but I have 1 touchdown.
Okay.
I feel you on that. I mean, I think Notre Dame gets the job done. I think they're the better team. I think they were the better team last week, and we didn't quite see that, or 2 weeks ago now. But I'm taking the Irish in this one, 31-24. I think special teams could be a factor.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm taking the Irish 34-21. I think they're going to keep it close until halftime, but they're going to pull away with the run game.
35-10 10. They run away with it in the second half. The offensive line comes together. The Irish get a much-needed victory today.
All right, Bryant Young, the legend,
you.
our crew here. Thank you for watching ABC 57 Kickoff.